What's up, you guys? It's Twinlesstwin, and we just kicked off our very first game of Modern Horizons 3 Early Access. So we started off with a bauble, we're up against elves, and we saw Llanowar elves on top. I'm feeling like we can go ahead and play this Ragavan um, off of a Steam Vents, and then pass the turn back to our opponent. Important to trade this Ragavan with something early, or if they want to give us the mana advantage, then we'll take that as well. I think actually might be fine trading here. I'm expecting that they play two elves in this spot. If they play two elves, we'd be trading with one of those instead of the Nettle Sentinel. Not sure which we'd prefer to trade with. Actually, I think that we're fine taking here. If they do only have like one elf, and well, the Nettle Sentinel just untaps, of course. So trade would have been smart probably, because now they just have the option to trade. Oh, maybe we draw a Bolt here though. Any one mana removal spells? Tamiyo. Alright, let's start by attacking. They'll probably block with Nettle Sentinel. So yeah, that makes sense. And then I'm gonna get down Tamiyo and bolt this elf, because they are stuck on one land. Priest of Titania. That's a scary card, but only when there are a lot of elves on the battlefield. Right now, not very scary. So I think we're fine just attacking here. Making a clue. With Tamiyo, you do want to get lots of lands in play, but the question is, can we afford to risk this preordain and take down counterspell if we don't find a land? I guess developing Ragavan is also pretty reasonable, so I don't hate it. Okay, I think I will preordain here. And look at that, we find a land. I don't think Force Negation is going to be particularly good versus elves, so gonna bottom that. Also expecting to probably fetch here and counterspell something, try to slow their development while we continue to get triggers off Tamiyo. Elvish Warmaster, good enough for me to counterspell this one here. I don't really think we need more than one red, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. So knowing we have that second Tamiyo, we could be setting up to maybe flip our first Tamiyo here. It instantly will plus, and then maybe rebuy a card in the future. The way we set up to flip the first Tamiyo is by not using Bauble on our turn, but instead using it on their turn, so that we draw the card plus our draw step and then crack a clue that transforms Tamiyo. Alright, so two Priest of Titanias. They now have a lot of mana. I think our best move here is to try to stop something like this from resolving. You may cast creatures from the top of your library. Alright, let's bauble ourselves, I think. If there is a bolt there, I might be fine letting this resolve. There is a bolt. Okay, I think we're going to let this resolve and just crack a clue then. Not super concerned about this with them having no mana this turn. Save our counter spell. Oh, oops, I don't have... Okay. Well, oops. My mistake, guys. Sorry. I meant to crack a clue there, obviously. So we'll start by bolting this and then getting in. Transforming Tamiyo here seems pretty risky. If their last card is something good, things could get sketchy. I think it's better just to pass and continue to hold up these clues. Courier and Ranger is fine. Again, they have plenty of mana, but we're going to isolate their payoffs, ideally. 6. 9. That's a lot of mana. Craterhoof Behemoth. Counterspell. Let's draw. I think I'd rather just keep cracking clues than play Ragavan here, when we know Ragavan is just going to be trading with something. This will have to fetch Shock, so putting us down to 10. Ooh, they drew something. Uh-oh. What did they draw? Hopefully it's Court of Calling. I'm very afraid of whatever this is. Oh, thank God it's just Finale of Devastation. We can go ahead and counter that with Force of Negation. I got scared for a second there, guys. I got scared for a second. Like, things are not looking good. We'll grab a Steam Vents and crack a clue. This Tamiyo is absolutely putting in work. I'm wondering here if we actually want to attack or not. I think playing Ragavan... Yeah, okay, I think attacking is still fine. My thought is, I mean, they can start attacking in with the 3 guys. Ragavan can't actually even block them very well, so because of this Pendelhaven, but I'm okay to take 3, maybe 4 damage this turn. And of course there's the chance that they draw a payoff and want to cast it with their priest instead. So knowing if we do block, it's not even a trade, it's just a chump block. Let's draw a card first. It's any creature that's a 1/1. They're all 1/1s. Okay, no blocks is fine. Take 3. I'm really excited to get these Brotherhoods in from post board, or from my sideboard. Alright, let's crack this. I kind of just want to transform Tamiyo now. It might be a mistake, though. So on the backside, whenever a creature attacks, it gets -1/-0. Turn target instant or sorcery. Then we have Fawn up, but not necessarily Counterspell. But it completely shuts down their attacking efforts. I think it's good. Alright, we draw fetch land, so if we really need to, we could Counterspell something. And we'll just plus and pass. Tamiyo, an amazing showing for its first game, I would say. Elves does not seem like the matchup for Invert Polarity. The problem with the card is that you're not really too happy to steal a Priest of Titania or an Elvish Mystic on its own. Elves is very synergy driven. Now, to be fair, I would be pretty happy to steal Craterhoof Behemoth, or one of those guys, but that's just not the majority of their deck, right? Pendelhaven is making our Ragavan very ineffective. Basically doing nothing. Our opponent is in the tank. Oh, actually, I think MTGO froze. Opponent is not in the tank. MTGO froze. Okay, hopefully we get reconnected here quickly. Let's go ahead and restart. Oh, don't no one look at that. No one look at that. Screensaver. 1-0 win? Did our opponent just concede? Or were they just done playing against us because we disconnected? Sorry, True Hero. Well, we'll take that. A 1-0 win. Too much Tamiyo card draw. And let's go ahead and I'll show you guys the list now. I know you've been patient. So here's the list that I'm rocking for this first league through. And I'm really excited about it. So like I mentioned yesterday, I think Force and Negation pairs really well with Tamiyo and Ragavan, so I'm rocking 3 of those main deck. I also have some Flame of Anors in there, which complement Tamiyo pretty well, and it could just be a really strong card against Affinity, which has been a pretty pushed archetype in MH3. We have our Invert Polarities, which I think are absolutely busted, and then one Brain Surge, kind of for fun, but also curious to see what happens when we do draw it. I'm playing Galvanic Discharges. I expect a decent amount of Tamiyos, so I wanted to be ready to answer that as quickly as possible. Looks like we're up against Saffron Olive, which I, think means we can expect to face a pretty cool brew. Um, so let's have a good match. I'm gonna keep this hand. I don't really love keeping 4 land hands, but we have a Preordain, a Counterspell, a Force Negation, so pretty good mix of spells. We can fetch our Surveil land at some point. Gonti's Machination. So it looks like we're maybe up against Energy Burn, would be my best guess. Leading on a fetch land here. I'm not really sure. Actually, okay, maybe we should have Preordain because we know we're looking for a threat. I was thinking at first of passing just because I don't know what we really want quite yet against this, and we can probably get a Surveil land, so maybe it's okay to hold the Preordain. This feels like it is going to be mono black burn or black red burn, so gonna try to be pretty cautious with my life total. I mean, if they haven't played a creature yet, I'm not really convinced they are playing a lot of creatures. So, gonna pass. I'm gonna play Tamiyo here and play a Steam Vents tapped. Trying to get out my mana as painlessly as possible. into this potential, burn deck. We can fetch Island Island with these next two fetches now. Oh no, Bowmasters. Okay, that makes sense. Now I want my Lightning Bolt back. Necro Dominance, huh? We should probably force that one. Seems really good. I think I'll get rid of... Well, the Preordain might actually be okay to keep. No, I think I'll get rid of it. Hold on to these counter spells. Draw another Preordain. I do think we probably should Preordain here to try to find a removal spell for the Bowmasters. But we don't. Should we attack here? I guess so. We probably want at least a clue in the reserves. So that these counter spells, we don't just waste our mana if they pass back to us. Bowmasters is really an annoying card versus Tamiyo, to the surprise of no one. This Gonti's Machinations is piling up energy. Pretty smart. Whenever you lose life, you get an energy. I wonder what their energy payoff is. Maybe they're playing the wheel. It does combo with Bowmasters. Sleeper Agent. Deals 2 damage to you. So we're at an effective 9 right now. The Sleeper Agent puts us to 7. This actually seems like a problem for us, I think. I mean, the weird thing is we actually, like, the Sleeper Agent would help us block the Bowmasters, but then eventually we have to kill our own Sleeper Agent. Another Tamiyo. I think I'm going to try to block the 2/2 Bowmaster token. So it looks like their deck is black-red and they're just playing the Peat land as a cycle land since there is no black-red cycle land. Interesting. Forbidden Orchard. Hmm. Seems like there's some type of combo there. Think I could transform Tamiyo here, and then play another Tamiyo potentially. It feels like they don't have Bowmasters now, but I think I want to cycle this Bauble in case they do get Bowmasters. So I'm really curious what the Forbidden Orchards are for. They're going for me. I'm going at a 7. Effectively down to 4 because of the Gonti's machinations. We know their draw step was the Forbidden Orchard, so I assume they still don't have Bowmasters. Get down to Tamiyo. Play this Bauble. I think we can plus. We have the counterspell already in hand, so I feel fine with that. Another Forbidden Orchard on top for the opponent. Feels like we're getting pretty close to taking over and just winning this game. Notably, if we drew 2 with Flame of Anor there because of the Bauble, we would have transformed our second Tamiyo, which is not what we want to do. I don't really want to fetch down to 6 either, though. I'm just going to ultimate this Tamiyo next turn and win the game. Okay, so they're giving us some creatures. I wonder what the move is. What? Are they hard casting Soul Spike? Okay. Counterspell. We might be about to die. Maybe we should have gotten that counterspell back, guys. Maybe we should have got that counterspell back. I feel like there might be another Soul Spike coming at my face right now. And I think we're donezo. Oh boy. I got greedy. I got greedy. Okay. Let's draw a lot of cards. They're giving us a lot of creatures. Each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. That's hilarious. Okay. We have to counterspell. And then they scoop it up! So I guess their last card was not another burn spell. This is absolutely... This is hilarious. No other way to describe it. Uh... I don't know how I want to sideboard. Like, are any of these cards playable against them? Doesn't seem like it, really. Seems like it's just a run it back angle. I didn't exactly build my sideboard with this deck in mind, to be fair. Chancellor of the Dross reveals the cards. So they helix me. And now they have the Chancellor, which they can pitch to Soul Spike. So they give me a sleeper agent. Okay. I'll take 2. Alright, well, let's make them have the Bowmasters and get kind of aggressive here. I guess if they do have Bowmasters, actually, even if they don't have Bowmasters, I probably want this Bolt as a, just as a way to kind of start to burn them out because we are in a race with this sleeper agent. Yeah, Bowmasters would be the disaster here. If they don't have Bowmasters, I think we're in really good shape. Don't play Bowmasters! Please! Bump in the night. Okay, we got our wish of no Bowmasters, but we're down to 9. And we're going down to... Oh gosh. Alright. In for 4. Should we bolt our sleeper bumper agent here? I think we should. I am cowardly, but I don't want to take another 2. Soul Spike. Go down to 3. Bump in the Night costs 5 to flashback. We've got some breathing room. Maybe I should have played a... No, going down to... Well, going down to 2 is actually probably fine. So I could have played the fetch land. Raucous Theater. Not a wizard, of course. I knew that. But you know, you still can't resist the urge to check. Actually, I think we can fetch now, grabbing the Surveil land with the chance to hit Delirium. Let's just take Delirium here. Putting them on a clock of some sorts here. The Orchard. Okay, we can draw 2, right? This costs 6. We can bin discharge, I think. Alright, if they bump us, we get to get 2 guys. And we'll invert polarity and see if we shoot them for lethal. Flip a coin. I call tails. Won the flip. Change the target to them. They go to 5 and we're going to attack for lethal. And we win the match 2-0. Let's go. 2-0 in this league to start off. We beat Elves and Black-Red Burn. And let's get one more match in, and then we'll wrap up this video and get to another video for the next match. Actually, I think if we keep winning, let's see if we can get a 5-0 league. Very first league of MH3. So what are you guys most excited for in MH3? Let me know down in the comments. I think for me it's Tamiyo. We talked about it in our set review. If you haven't checked out the set review, you definitely should. It's a really great video where me and Paiganti talk all about all the different cards in MH3. And so yeah, I highly recommend you check that out. We're up against the current trophy leader with 1 trophy. I don't think we can keep this hand with just an island, unfortunately, so we're going to send it back. Alright, and I am going to keep this hand. I think I'll put back the redundant Ragavan. Starting things off with Ragavan feels smarter than Tamiyo because the mana advantage is so relevant. Let's see. They have a green-black fetch. We should have bubbled first. But yeah, I think you're almost always supposed to start on Ragavan over Tamiyo in this deck. Stitcher Supplier. Okay. Flare of Malice. Feels like there's some combination going on here. Some combination gaming. So we're going to have to trade with the Stitcher Supplier, which is not really the most exciting trade to make. Your opponent gets to mill 6 cards, but I guess we actually didn't have to do that. Yeah, to be fair, we didn't have to. I don't know why I said we had to. Maybe we didn't want to. The risk being if we want to play Tamiyo, things could get a lot worse for the Ragavan. Like they could have Bowmasters, they could have this Marionette Apprentice, which is a really interesting card. So I kind of felt like it might be the best trade we get for the Ragavan. The Nightmare comes down, so they're going to be tinkering creatures into play. We draw not a land. But Tamiyo just kind of showing why I think she's so powerful here. We get to pass with Lightning Bolt Counterspell and draw a card up, which I just think is really, really good for us. So this card is really sweet. You can do a lot of tinkering of stuff. Bloodghast. Well, you can't really counterspell that. It's just going to end up coming back with a land drop anyways, so... They're bringing back Warden of Soul Trader. Pay 1 life, sack another creature, create a treasure token. That seems like an important card to counter. Or to remove, I should say. Not counter, but... Phyrexian Tower... So Bloodghast makes 2 mana. Alright, I think we should let the Bloodghast come back. If they do sack the Bloodghast and play the what's it called again, then we can counterspell. Okay, I think we should counterspell this. And then we can bolt the Warden of Soul Trader. Or if we draw a land, don't draw a land, then we could have done something even stronger. Alright. Well, let's preordain. Really want lands here, so I'm going to bottom both of those. Can surveil. Okay. I even might top this extra land here. I think I will. Potentially jumping the gun, killing the Warden, but like they have Phyrexian Tower, they have like fetch lands to bring back Bloodghasts. It just felt like that card meant trouble, so I wanted to get it off the table. Flame of Anor, interestingly, can like shoot something and draw 2, which flips Tamiyo on its own. Just really strong synergies between Flame of Anor and Tamiyo. They had another Nightmare. So I guess we got punished. Unclear what this Warren of Soul Trader does. It feels like maybe it's a combo with Marionette Master to an extent. But hard to say. I am definitely afraid. Okay, so this explains something, I think. Sack a creature, make a treasure. Are we just dead here? I think we might be. So what happens is they bring back... Oh. Maybe not quite. Because they needed the Marionette Master in play, which they could do if they had one more mana, but they don't. The problem is we can't... This looks really strong, potentially. And I forgot to put Graveyard Hate in my sideboard. That is a mistake you only make once in this new format. So, let's see here. They get back the Marionette Master, and then we're dead, right? How does Marionette Master work? Whenever each opponent loses a life, so they have to pay a life. Okay, I'm not actually sure we are dead here. Because they have to pay life to do the Gravecrawler loop. So they can get us pretty low, but I'm not sure they can actually finish us off. Because they didn't fabricate the Marionette Master to be a 2. I think they were 1 mana short ultimately. Oh, whenever a creature or artifact is put into your graveyard, so it's just 2 per... Yep, I am dead. Alright, that's pretty sweet. Alright, Disruptor Flute could do something there. Brotherhood's End might do something. Tidebinder might do something. So we have some reasonable sideboard options. What cards seem bad? Ragavan seems really bad. I think we can get that out of here. Honestly, the Fawn doesn't seem that great either. Neither does Brain Surge. I think interacting with the board is going to be pretty important. I mean, Invert Polarity actually also doesn't seem great. Lots of scrappy creatures that we're not getting a lot of value countering. Bring back the Fawn and the Surge to cut 2 polarities. Alright, I don't really think we can keep a one-lander. I mean, we have the double Bolt, double Fawn. So it is tempting to. I'm going to send it back. Ooh, and this hand looks a lot stronger, I think. Probably keep and send back the second DRC. I think the plan will be start to build up some value with Tamiyo, and then we can play a nice controlling game. The Disruptor Flute is going to make their Nightmare pretty much a non-issue, which I think should take away a lot of the value of just their deck in general. Pick your poison? Uh-oh. No! Our Tamiyo! We're in shambles. I think we'll get down the Dragon Rage Channeler and fetch our Surveil land up. Stitcher Supplier comes down. Find a Gravecrawler. That's annoying. Yep, they play the Gravecrawler. Need to bin this land here. We need to find some way to get Delirium going here. Bauble would be really nice. Preordain would be pretty nice. Flare of Malice? What does that even do? It destroys... Wow. Okay. Might just choose Gravecrawler right now to shut that down. I shouldn't F6. I do have the Fawn. Undead Butler. Not good, guys. Not good. The tricky thing about playing less iterations is actually that you need to find your third land drop naturally more often. I mean, the Tamiyo clues should help, but I wonder if we actually want to move up to 20 lands with one of them being the bounce spell. I think I could see that being the case with Tamiyos. Lots to spend our mana on. We're going to get beat down here. This type of deck seems naturally pretty good against Murktide, I would say. Very scrappy, makes your counter spells pretty ineffective. Graveyard synergy, and we just don't have any graveyard hate to kind of dodge that. Let's see. So this is a reflexive trigger. We can Disruptor Flute, whatever they name, but I think we actually, well, we want them to cast the Grist to spend their turn, and then we'll flute it. Now they can no longer activate its abilities. Alright, passing back. Actually, oh, I regret. Okay, yeah, I think I want to shoot the Marionette Master now. Notably, they also don't have a zombie, so they can't cast these grave crawlers. I draw. Well, we're still on the back foot here. And after taking Murktide out of your deck, you lose a lot of your like big swingy cards, so Not loving our current standing. That's a very expensive grave crawler you have there, opponent. It'd be a shame if I counterspelled it. I do think I probably should counterspell it. It'll buy me an extra turn, yeah, because I assume they're bringing back the Bloodghast there. Oh, punished. Okay, well we can Brotherhood's End next turn. Is this a zombie? How did they bring back this Gravecrawler? Oh, it's a third one from hand. I see. Man, this Bloodghast is a real pain in the butt. Any land drop is just gonna crush us here. Grist, Voracious Hydra. Okay. Oh, we are so cooked. We are so cooked. Game over. All right, awesome. Great first three matches. I'm really excited about the potential this deck has. Tamiyo has looked absolutely great. It would have been phenomenal in that game as well. Unfortunately, they had the answer to it, but that happens sometimes. I will catch you guys in the next video.